Yingjie does not have a special attitude towards things like one-night stands. Neither reject or like it. In fact, there are many such things in the circle of friends around him, and he also feels that it is common, as long as the two of them are willing and don't involve with each other. But he himself does not intend to try, because he feels that it is strange for two people who do not have a deep relationship to sleep together. The progress from a romantic relationship to a physical relationship is a normal and reasonable process. Of course, there is another reason, is that he never lacked a girlfriend. With a good family background, good looks, well-mannered, gentle and polite, he is well known in social circles. From middle school to now, he never lacked a girlfriend, and even each gap period does not exceed 3 months. Although the history of love is rich, but he considers himself not a playboy. In every period of love he is genuinely loving to the other person, sincerely. Every breakup is also the same as dating, mutually willing, straightforward. In short, he really does not need a one-night stand. Do not consider this kind of thing. Until that one exception. The other party is Qin Yufei, the woman who gives people a headache. Beautiful woman. A beautiful woman who is arrogant and willful and has an unreasonable temper. This type is not in his girlfriend preference range at all. He likes the sweet, well-behaved and lovely type, polite and know how to advance and retreat, not noisy. In short, beautiful and sensible. And Qin Yufei is very beautiful, but the other aspect looks like not involved. I heard that last time Alun wanted to ask Qin Yufei out. It's okay if she didn't agree, but she also gave him a scowl, like a shrew. That woman is brutal to death. Think they are the great miss from Qin family. Alun is out of his mind. So many advice not to go courting. Why provoke Qin Yufei? Qin Yufei, she probably thinks that men should kneel at her feet. Tisk. She really thinks she is attractive to people? Yingjie's thoughts from that night. No, that trip to the United States had 3 nights. Inexplicably 3 nights. Should not blame the wine. Should not blame the atmosphere. Should not blame their being stood up by Shi and Chen Ying together. Anyway, is unexpected things happen unexpectedly. He had some regrets afterwards, and he felt that she did too. Yingjie took another sip of wine, put those things behind him, and listened to the words of a few friends around him. Yes, they were the ones who mentioned Qin Yufei, so he remembered her. The incident happened more than 2 months ago. He had not put it on his mind. This kind of thing happens a lot in this circle, not only she and him. And they have also agreed to never talk about it to the public. It should have been put to rest, and he really did not take it to heart. But Qin Yufei, that woman's attitude avoided him like a beast, makes him very unhappy. But he was unhappy to be unhappy. The few big men beside him criticized her endlessly. The words are quite mean. He was quite uncomfortable to listen to it. She is bratty and arrogant. It's fine if someone is willing to spoil her. What are you guys worried about? Yingjie didn't hold back and made a cold comment. A few of the friends froze, then laughed. One of them elbowed him. James has traveled with Qin Yufei to the United States, so maybe he knows her differently. A different understanding? That's true. She even told him her secret. They knew each other and she even told him her secret. She had been cheated on by a cheap guy when she was a student in America, betrayed by her best friend. She had taken him to meet all her friends. She had given her friend a car to drive, a house to live in and money to spend. And finally she had caught them both in bed. It is simply dog's blood drama. And she had aborted her child for that man. Really bad experience. He knew that she must be eager to bring this secret into the coffin. It's just that people need to vent. The best friend died, just as Qin Yufei cursed them at the time, hit by a car in the street. The dead girlfriend's mother sent the gifts that the other party bought for Qin Yufei in the past few years. Surprisingly, all the gadgets that Qin Yufei had said she liked. After Qin Yufei no longer cared about her, that girlfriend actually silently misses their friendship until the day of death. So Qin Yufei feelings of complicated pain he can understand. She revisited the old place and tried to let go of the past and erase the wounds. He also felt very normal. At that time she only had him around, so she told him the story. It was a very subtle psychological contradiction. She trusted him not to go around saying, but also attempted to push him far away. exposing the most unpleasant side of herself to him, not hiding anything at all, as if to say, "Hey, Yingjie, this is me. You must not like me." He's not traveling with Qin Yufei, he's clearly chasing after his kung fu girl. But by the way, James, you didn't catch up with Yingjie in the end? It looks like the gap period is going to break the record this time. Yingjie's best friend Xu Yanchang teased him. Yingjie laughed. Yeah, I didn't catch up. Yingjie is a very cute and beautiful little girl, is the type of Yingjie never met before, so he chased her for a while, but unfortunately there has been no call, and there is even miscommunication feeling. In addition, Yingjie noticed that Yingjie's heart belongs to another person, so he also gave up. There are many cute and beautiful girls, there is no need to be obsessed. He has always been open-minded about this matter of feelings, never forced. There was some commotion in the doorway when they talked. Yingjie and several other gentlemen looked over at the sound, and it was really, speak of the devil arrived. The three girls who just entered the door, one of them is Qin Yufei. She was wearing a silver and white dress, showing off her white and delicate shoulders and long, beautiful legs, wearing a very thin necklace on her slender neck, and the sparkling diamonds on the pendant were very eye-catching. Hair pulled up, tied by diamond chain, glittery on the black hair, very beautiful. Qin Yufei smiled coquettishly, carefree. Yingjie lowered his eyes, looked at the wine glass, and intentionally did not look at her. Someone next to him elbowed him again. Hey, Qin Yufei actually come. James, do you know her well, she actually? Yingjie subconsciously looked up by this bump, and met Qin Yufei's gaze looking this way. The two eyes met. Yingjie did not turn his head, he looked straight at her. The voices around him wanting to discuss Qin Yufei died down. Everyone was very guilty and busy about themselves. Who should refill the wine? Who should find food? Who should find someone to dance with? What the hell? Yingjie's face blackened. It is afraid that the woman does not know that you are gossiping about her? Qin Yufei raised her eyebrows and watched the group of gentlemen disperse. Then she looked at Yingjie, raising her eyebrows and turning her head to ignore him again. If don't care, then don't care, who cares about it? Yingjie turned around and put the empty cup on a waiter's plate, taking another glass of wine with his hand. An uncle and elder came to greet him. Yingjie, long time no see, how is your father doing? Yingjie's father is the chairman of the WAD Group, Chairman Wengwang. The WAD Group has hotels, restaurants, resorts, property development and many other companies and businesses. Yingjie is the youngest in the family. There is a brother and a sister above. The older brother and sister are much older than him. So Yingjie since childhood is highly favored. The family requirements for him is also much more lenient than the older brother and sister. After he returned from his overseas studies, he worked in the family business. His position was not too high or too low. His work was not too busy or too idle. No one asked him to take the lead, and no one belittled his role. He thought this was good. He had work to train himself, but also had time to enjoy life. He was satisfied with his current situation. Yingjie finished socializing with that uncle and elder, and was invited by a beautiful woman to dance on the floor. After politely declining another dance, he stood on the side of the floor chatting with his friend, who was called away afterwards, and he was a bit bored. At this time he saw Qin Yufei again. She was taking something to eat from the table. The plate contains some French fries, fried squid rings, fried fish sticks and other snacks, and she is holding the plate and looking at the long table. The corners of Yingjie's mouth twitched, wanted to laugh a little. He knew what she was looking for, but he did not want to care about her. A few seconds later, he couldn't help but turn back, and she was still there looking seriously. Yingjie sighed in his heart. He really did not want to care about her, really. He took a few steps and called a waiter to bring some ketchup to the counter, and the waiter agreed. Soon, a bowl of ketchup was placed on the counter, and Yingjie saw Qin Yufei's eyes light up as she scooped 2 large spoonfuls onto her plate. Yingjie found himself smiling, then found himself heading over to the dining table, then again, he was already standing next to Qin Yufei. Qin Yufei turned her head to look at him and turned her head away again without saying anything. She chucked 2 fried chicken wings and drizzled tomato sauce on them again. Yingjie couldn't help but say, "Do you want to dip this in the sauce too?" Qin Yufei ignored him. Yingjie also did not speak. He stretched his hand to take a fries and put it directly into his mouth, then ate 3 more. Qin Yufei finally turned around and glared at him. Yingjie looked innocent. "Can I not dip it into the sauce?" I knew this woman's ketchup OCD would kick in. Qin Yufei gave him a look, looked around. No one was paying attention to them. She was satisfied, turned her head and pretended to get the food, and said in a no-nonsense manner, "Young Master Jiyu, we agreed." Yes. Where did I break the agreement? He didn't reveal half a word about what had happened to them, and about the secret she had told him. "Get away from me. You're done with the food, you can leave with your plate." He didn't want to leave, and if she didn't like it, she could leave herself. Qin Yufei, wanted to go, but he said so she does not want to move. Why should she go? It is obvious it is him who came over. "What were you guys talking about?" Yingjie asked. As he was dancing he saw her laughing and joking with some sisters, and their eyes were looking in the direction of his best friend, Xu Yanchang. "Has anyone fallen for Jason?" Qin Yufei doesn't answer and asks in return, "When I first walked in the door, what were you guys gathering to gossip about? Talking bad about me?" Yingjie choked. "You think too much. You guys are the ones who are lame. What have you got? Why are you being talked about?" Yingjie was secretly annoyed. Those buddies really can't hide their mouths. Qin Yufei raised her chin. "There's a lot of talk about my superficial baifume. Like willful, arrogant, ignorant, or self-righteous. That Lun said he wanted to make me look good, as if anyone is afraid of him. You are all in the same circle of friends, it is not surprised to talk about me, but he went out with Maggie watching movies and book a hotel, while asking me to enjoy the moonlight, isn't disgusting? It's cheap and dirty. I actually scolded him lightly. He thinks he's a great young master of the Zheng family, and women should be grateful when he hooks his fingers. Do not look at their own virtue." Yingjie is speechless. Miss Qin is still the same style, fluent in scolding people. But then again, Lun is really a bit too low class this time. He knew how much Qin Yufei loathed womanizers. He feels ashamed, although there is no relationship with Lun, but by Qin Yufei classified as one of the group, he is also quite embarrassed. Qin Yufei scolded and glared at him. Why glare? It's none of his business, it's not his doing. "Qin Yufei, be nicer to me." He couldn't help but say to her. Every time they meet, it's like seeing an enemy. "Why should I be nice? I am like this." She frowned deeper. Yingjie is unhappy. "Qin Yufei, with our friendship, can't be a good friend, but we still can be ordinary friends. Otherwise, the normal only nodding friends can work too. You said you can't let everyone know what happened, but you're being too special to me, so where can you hide it? You do not react this way to your normal friends, others will be suspicious. Common sense says that if a woman is like this with a man, either she is too annoyed or too concerned. Which is it for you?" When these words came out, Qin Yufei stiffened her face. Then she squeezed her plate tightly and glared at him fiercely. The anger on her face was just too obvious. Yingjie. One word burst out, a real sign of being furious. "What do you want?" Having pissed her off, he actually relaxed and kind of wanted to laugh, finding her expression funny. "You need to stop being so full of yourself." Oh, he looked like he didn't care, on purpose. She puffed, wanting to paste his face with ketchup, but she loved her face. This was a friend's party. She did not want to lose face in public. She gritted her teeth and gritted her teeth again, but couldn't say anything, so she turned around and walked away with a humph. After 2 steps, she was really angry, suffocating. Turn around, look around if no one noticed. She reached out to kick him a little. The kick doesn't hurt him, but she needs to let off her anger. She stretched her feet, Yingjie subconsciously backward. She was wearing high heels. The kick missed, stumbled forward, failed to stand. She instinctively reached forward to grab a hand. He hurried forward to help her. The person was held. but she did not hold the plate in her hand. Clank. A crunching sound. The plate hit the ground. That fries, squid ring, fried fish fell to the ground. The most spectacular thing is that the red ketchup spilled on the ground and glued his feet, but also stained his pants. Yingjie has not yet reacted, just heard the sound of the plate fell to the ground and saw a blur in front of his eyes. The woman who started it flashed to his back with amazing speed. He looked down to see the miserable situation under his feet, and then looked up, a room of people looking at him in surprise. Someone behind him poked him hard in the back, and he didn't have to look back to know who it was. This annoying ghost not only can get into trouble but also quite good at hiding. Such high heels actually did not affect the speed at all. Yingjie pursed the corners of his mouth and stretched his hands under the gaze of the crowd. Behind him, Qin Yufei poked him again. His 1.84 meters height is not difficult to block her 1.63 meters. He knows what she means. Okay, don't poke. He's not going to drag her out and make her lose face. Sorry, slip hand. Yingjie smiled at the crowd and beckoned for the waiters to hurry up and clean up. Several waiters rushed over, and several of Yingjie's friends also wanted to come over to check it out, but Yingjie waved his hand at them to stop it. The others finally felt that the little accident in the corner was not interesting, and should dance and drinking. Yingjie retreated a few steps. Qin Yufei also followed 2 steps back, and then she saw a large pillar beside her, and then poked Yingjie's back. She dodged to hide behind the pillar. Yingjie turned his head to look at her. She was also looking over. The 2 eyes met. She wrinkled her nose at him and glared at him, and then took chance to run in the direction of the bathroom, leaving ketchup traces all the way. Yingjie wanted to scold her for being stupid. How do you hide? Everyone will know that she has a part in this even if they can't see her face. It's more humiliating for her to hide. When the waiter shined his shoes, he couldn't help but take his phone and send her a text message, the content of 2 words, stupid. But she didn't reply, ignoring him at all. After that, Yingjie did not want to have fun, although his shoes and pants were wiped, but he always felt uncomfortable and unclean. So after staying for a while, he said goodbye and left. Xu Yanchang and 2 other friends also feel that the party is not interesting, take the opportunity to say goodbye together. After leaving the hotel, Xu Yanchang breathed out and asked Yingjie, what's going on? What are you doing with Qin Yufei? Nothing. Isn't she the one hiding behind you? Could see the corner of the skirt and shoes, it's very obvious. Oh, she dropped the plate by mistake, and I happened to be next to it. Yingjie didn't want to say too much. But Xu Yanchang looked at him with disbelief. Yingjie smiled, I'm not familiar with her. The words Qin Yufei warned him flashed through his mind, not to mention what happened in the United States, not to talk to others about her, to remember that she was not familiar with him. Qin Yufei, I have really keep the promise, all according to what you commanded me. That Qin Yufei is really strange, she herself dropped the plate. Why hide behind you? Let you carry the blame for everyone to see. Lun is right, this woman is really annoying, impolite and selfish, self-righteous. Next time when you get a chance, teach her a lesson. James, you should have walked away just now and thrown her out. It's okay too to let her fall. She should also have a taste of humiliation. Abel, Yingjie stopped and had to interrupt him. Don't touch her. He was serious and earnest, and Abel froze for a moment. We're men, why bother with the woman? Besides, Lun may not be the right party in that matter, and there's nothing honorable about going around talking about the woman's faults after being rejected. Yingjie was not happy. Okay, gentleman Jia, I know you're a gentleman. Xu Yanchang knew that Abel had a deep friendship with Lun, and now his face unpleasant, so he hurriedly came out to round up the situation. Foolish. Abel waved his face and dropped a sentence and walked away. Xu Yanchang patted Yingjie's shoulder. Yingjie glared at Abel's direction, thinking that he was the one who was foolish. Qin Yufei had nothing to do with him, insisted getting involved. Even though the woman has a temper, there's someone who pampers her, so there's really no need for them to worry blindly. However, really don't know who will be so unlucky in the future to shoulder such a heavy responsibility. Yingjie still couldn't hold back for this night. He sent another text message to Qin Yufei. "You owe me a thank you." He helped her, and she glared at him. As usual, no one responded after the text message was sent, and Yingjie did not care. After returning from the United States, Qin Yufei really treated him as transparent. He knows that in her heart there may be some awkwardness and uncomfortable about those matters. She is the same as him, are not people who play one-night stands, but there is no pill for regret in this world to eat. She wants to wash off the relationship he can understand. But he felt very wronged. He really did not intend to entangle with her. It is important for her to know. The more she prevented him as a virus, the more displeased he was. What's the reason? Those few times, although it happened inexplicably, but undeniably is still very good pleasure. She obviously also enjoy it. Can make her so pleased. His male vanity has been greatly satisfied. He was pleased for several days. Besides, it's consensual. He didn't force her, seduce her or use any dirty tricks. It's just that as soon as their eyes met, both of them were like a possessed. It happened naturally. Even if there is some regret, it really does not have to be as if he had committed some crime. He will not accept such accusations. Qin Yufei was lying on her bed looking at her phone. "You owe me a thank you," she pouted and tossed her phone aside. It's owed, but she doesn't plan to return it. She really wanted to get away from him, a little further. She trusts him and pours out her secrets to him. The first reaction to an embarrassing incident was to hide behind him, an instinct that didn't even cross her mind. This is not good, she knows, it's dangerous. After more than 3 years of being cheated on by that man, her trust in men is only a few crumbs left. So Yingjie, it's dangerous for her. He said today that she cared about him. He thought it was a joke? No way to joke with him, it's too dangerous. She had to take some measures. The measures Qin Yufei intends to do is, she should obey her father's wishes and find a date. The next day, Qin Yufei entered the company at 10:25. There was a meeting at 10:30. She thought she was just at the right time. But just as she entered the office, the secretary said with an anxious look on her face, "Ms. Qin, the meeting has been moved up. Mr. Chu has arrived at 10 o'clock. In other words, Qin Yufei was already half an hour late. Oh, Qin Yufei nodded, unconcerned. She put her bag away and drank a sip of water, then took her laptop to the conference room. There was a room full of people sitting in the conference room. Everyone looked over when Qin Yufei entered. Qin Yufei smiled, greeted magnanimously, then sat down on the empty seat next to the main seat at the head of the conference table. The person hosting the meeting is the group's vice president Chu Zhengqing, 33 years old, young and promising. He was a professional manager hired by Qin Yufei's father, Qin Wenyi. He was the general manager of the daily chemical company under the Qin family's Yingjie group for 3 years, with outstanding performance, and 2 months ago Qin Wenyi transferred him to the group as vice president. Chu Zhengqing's family was poor when he was young, but he was hardworking and diligent, excelling in school and completing his studies on scholarships. When he was in college, he began to work and study, internships and part-time jobs, and once he graduated, he was hired by a large company, after which he rose through the ranks, and within a few years he was headhunted, and 3 years ago he was poached by Qin Wenyi and became the youngest general manager of all the subsidiaries of Yingjie. Chu Zhengqing is a serious person, regard the work as life, do not say false words to subordinates, the principle is very strong. And he is good-looking, have good body, so he has a lot of girl fans in the company. It is said that in the subsidiary company there were bold female staff pursue him, but he refused. After being transferred to the group, no one had the intention of pursuing the vice president, because rumor has it that the big boss is interested in the young and talented vice president as a son-in-law. When Chu Zhengqing saw Qin Yufei enter, he only paused, then did not look at her again and continued on to the content of the meeting. He, the vice president, is in charge of sales, while Qin Yufei is in charge of the marketing department public relations planning. The two often cross paths in business. Qin Yufei knew what her father meant, and the rumors were indeed true. Qin Wenyi does intend to let his daughter get along with Chu Zhengqing to see if there is a possibility of further development. Qin Yufei is the only daughter. Qin Wenyi is not a man who prefers son than daughter. He single-handedly created such a large enterprise. Yangkai naturally hopes someone to succeed. The first candidate is the daughter. But Qin Yufei is obviously not interested in this. She has also tried to follow the path arranged by Qin Wenyi. But her personality is lazy and has no ambitions. It is not something that can be changed by hard work. And in the talent of business, the daughter is indeed a big disadvantage. Qin Yufei is quite smart. She has some ways to deal with people. If she is willing, she is able to make people very happy. She has always been good at the customer side, organizing activities, creative branding campaign she is also good at. So Qin Wenyi let her do in the company for a period of time. Then she was removed from the sales department, transferred her to the marketing department. What kind of people can do what kind of things? Qin Wenyi saw very clearly, and his daughter is no exception. He was already sure that his daughter was not the ideal person to be at the helm of the company, and it would be the same to train her for another 20 years. He is now 55 years old, strong and healthy. Another 10 years or so is not a problem, so he has to take advantage of this time to pave the way for the future of the company. One is to pull some trusted and capable family members. The second is to take care of his daughter's marriage. He hopes that his daughter's love marriage can help with his business. He feels that this is also good for his daughter. Initially, Qin Wenyi's preferred candidate for son-in-law was Chen Ying, the prince of the domain group. Chen Ying is a decent person, good-looking, excellent sense of career and responsibility, and importantly, business talent is also very important for Qin Wenyi's. It's a good match, a talented man and a beautiful woman. Qin Wenyi feels quite good. If Chen Ying can become his son-in-law, then in the future can certainly help Qin Yufei to keep Yangkai. Unfortunately, the parents' calculations were good, but the two young people did not connect. Qin Yufei said she had a good impression of Chen Ying, and she could communicate with him, but in the end the matter did not work out. Qin Wenyi also understood the meaning. He is not non-negotiable, the future still long to come, it's good to see more choices. After that, he thought of Chu Zhengqing. Chu Zhengqing, this person Qin Wenyi quite appreciate, hardworking, workaholic, looks and character are very good. The most important is also very business acumen. Quite have some Qin Wenyi's energy when he was starting up with his father. Qin Wenyi put him in the subsidiary company to observe a few years. Think he can be competent to take on a larger position of responsibility. If Qin Yufei and he can get along well and have a good relationship, it would be a good choice to recruit him as a son-in-law in the future. For both business and personal benefits, Qin Wenyi promoted Chu Zhengqing up. He also gave his daughter matchmaking, took them together for a meal and attended business functions together. He did not explicitly say, did not strongly push. He felt that the young people should be given more space. He is not an old-fashioned, don't want to cause any psychological backlash to his daughter or Chu Zhengqing. Anyway, the position is arranged, the opportunity is created, and it depends on their own development. But the human mind is not hidden. He has this intention, Chu Zhengqing and Qin Yufei of course is aware of, and the company also has some rumors. Chu Zhengqing did not move a sound. Qin Yufei is even more unconcerned. She does not care about Chu Zhengqing at all, more likely to choose him. As soon as she found out what her father meant, she immediately made it clear to Qin Wenyi. Qin Wenyi only raised his eyebrows after hearing this. Oh, a sound. Don't like, won't choose him, what does it matter? He didn't force her to choose. If they only can work together then work together, do whatever they need to do. He did not feel there is any problem. The future is long, who knows what will happen afterwards. If it really doesn't work, he didn't say anything anyway, and he was certainly happy to see a more suitable candidate emerge. Now this business meeting is quite tense, because last month's performance only barely reached the bottom line of Chu Zhengqing's requirements. Now is November 1st, the performance report has been released. It can be seen how tight Chu Zhengqing grasped. He is a boss who finds a little problem needs to be solved immediately, and his performance requirements are very harsh, but they are also well-founded and proven that as long as you redouble your efforts, you can still complete the standard. But Qin Yufei actually does not appreciate it. She thinks that as a reasonable task can be accomplished with hard work, and it is unreasonable to need to work twice as hard to do it. Work is not the whole of life. Overwork is not a beautiful thing. Of course, she will not be so insensitive to make these remarks, and will not use her own personal views to hinder Qu Zhengqing leadership to manage the company. Everyone has everyone's way of life. As long as everyone knows what they are doing, then it's good. If they can't go on, they will naturally find the right road for themselves. It's because she lives too casually, but she is also clear that she is not the material for business. At the meeting, Qu Zhengqing asked all the sales departments until they couldn't lift their heads. They could only achieve passing mark for 2 months in a row. What about next month? He asked the sales department to bring out the plan to improve performance before the Spring Festival in the following 3 months. If there is a problem with the performance in these 2 months, then the problem must be solved in the next 3 months. The sales department started to report their plan, which involved several marketing activities that required the cooperation of the marketing department, which is why Qin Yufei and their department needed to attend the meeting. So the conversation turned to the marketing department. Qu Zhengqing then turned his gaze to Qin Yufei. We have been doing the implementation of the giveaway activities according to the requirements of the sales department. The gift samples out on the 10th, 5 days production time after confirmation, delivery on the 15th. The event is on the 25th. If there are any problems, there is still time to adjust. In addition, the new product launch planned at the end of the month is scheduled to be delivered on the 6th according to the plan, so we have not started to do. Qin Yufei didn't feel guilty at all for not completing the task ahead of time. The sales manager's forehead is sweating. Have not started to do. Such words only Qin Yufei really dared to say. Manager Qin. Qu Zhengqing was nonchalant. Your work plan schedule needs to be revised. Okay. Qin Yufei nodded. We will adjust according to the newly revised needs of the sales departments and finish it on time. The meeting room was frighteningly quiet. The sales department's business needs had not changed, except that Boss Chu's meaning was clear that more cases, more discussions, more overturning, more innovation, and performance must be improved. If nothing else, the single performance must meet this requirement, so everyone else can pretend to be busy, no matter how the results. At least we already worked hard to try our best. Just now each of the speakers have rushed to advance the schedule to show their efforts. As a result, Big Miss is really Big Miss, although the attitude is sincere, but the meaning of her words show how, do as much as you asked and never do more. Qu Zhengqing of course is not so easy to beat. He looked at Qin Yufei. Please ask Manager Qin to turn in the new product launch program next Monday. Please also advance the execution of the giveaway activities. Manager Qin was late and didn't hear the new arrangement from the sales department side. Please also communicate fully after the meeting. I want to see every step of progress smooth and steady. Okay. Qin Yufei nodded with a good attitude, but didn't apologize for her being late. And she nodded while muttering in her mind that today is Friday, and turning it in next Monday means that her department was asked to work overtime for 2 days over the weekend. The original schedule for the handover on the 6th is already on her agenda. Monday is the 4th. The department met to discuss and started doing summary on the 5th and discuss it again. The 6th revised final version submitted, just right. But now we actually have to work overtime. The meeting was held for another half an hour, and after everyone felt the pressure until they would die if their performance was not improved, the meeting was finally adjourned. Manager Qin stays, others can leave. Qu Zhengqing's words made many people cast sympathetic glances to Qin Yufei, and some were with the attitude that it was a pity that they couldn't see the good show and dispersed one after another. Qin Yufei closed her laptop after writing down the key points of the last meeting and looked up at Qu Zhengqing. Qu Zhengqing was staring at her, and when he saw that she had finally turned her attention to her, he said with a stern face, Manager Qin is late. Qin Yufei nodded. Mr. Chu suddenly advanced the meeting. I did not know. I will pay attention next time. I asked your secretary to notify you. Qin Yufei opened her mobile phone and looked at it. I was driving when I was given the call and didn't receive it. If I remember correctly, the time the company punches in at work is 9 o'clock. Right. Qin Yufei graciously admitted. If you think I've delayed any work, just say so. Qin Yufei does not like this kind of roundabout and pretentious way of speaking. He just wants to say that she is late for work. But since she came to her father's company, except at the beginning when Qin Wenyi is not yet convinced, so she worked hard for a while, every day go to work early and stay up late with everyone. But this does not improve the situation in any way, but also does not change the fact that she does not have the talent at taking the lead. So Qin Wenyi accepted the reality and transferred her to the marketing department, so she will also work in her own way. She arrives late at work and go home depending on the situation. She follows the principle of doing things on demand, doing more work when there is more work, and less work if it is less urgent. As long as it is done on time and does not hold other departments down, then it's good. Although she is not considered a workplace elite, but she has done the work she should do. Customer relations are properly taken care of, corporate activities are successfully completed every time. She feels okay. What else? Chu Zhengqing slightly narrowed his eyes, very dissatisfied with Qin Yufei's attitude. But he can't catch any major fault with Qin Yufei's work. She can coax people, she can pick gifts, she has good taste and knowledge, she does maintain good customer relations. But then again, the same thing if it done by others maybe doesn't have the same result as hers. It is because she is Qin Wenyi's daughter. This point can make many people give face, so she gets twice the result with half the effort, that's all. Chu Zhengqing felt that she was just taking advantage of her status, all kinds of lazy and unmotivated. Manager Qin, Chu Zhengqing said, the difference between doing something, the same song, playing it smoothly and performing it perfectly with heart are two different things. In my opinion, Manager Qin only want to play smoothly, it's fine if it's happened to others, but Manager Qin identity is different, must give the company an example, so what Manager Qin should do, is the perfect interpretation of the heart. Otherwise, everyone follows the same example, the company's work ethic is lax, how to manage? I think the company's work ethic is very positive now, how can there be a lax? Mr. Chu does not have to be self-righteous, besides, my father is still here, you are not in charge, there are still so many uncles and seniors in charge. You talk in circles too much, this is very tiring. I do not need to punch a time card, the flexibility of my work schedule is because my father's permission, not only me, but also the few under me. If there are social events, then come a little later or leave a little earlier. The most important thing is the work is all done. The whole company I cannot manage, but a few people in a department I can still manage. Which work in my department did not keep up, which person did something wrong, Mr. Chu can say it directly, I immediately deal with it. But don't correct your attitude in such a subjective way. Quote, Manager Qin said to the point. Manager Qin's attitude is indeed very problematic. Qin Yufei ignored him, stood up and took the laptop ready to go back to the office, since they adjusted the schedule at the meeting just now. Then her side of the work will have to hurry up. She does not want to drag the whole department to work overtime. There is no time to mess around. Did I say you can go? Chu Zhengqing coldly said, with a serious face. Qin Yufei smiled. Mr. Chu is not satisfied with my attitude, then Mr. Chu should overcome it. I have to go back to work. Qin Yufei, are you playing capricious on the basis of your family background? No matter who your father is, the workplace is the workplace. I hope you figure it out. Chu Zhengqing was really angry with her. Qin Yufei's feet stopped, turned around, and said lightly, Mr. Chu, you have prejudice against me. The workplace is the workplace, I know very well. And I am, indeed, the daughter of Boss Yangkai, you also figure it out. She did not intend to show her aspirations at all. After saying this, she turned her head and left, not bothering to look at his face and give him a look. Chu Zhengqing stared at her back behind her until she was no longer visible. Qin Yufei was summoned by Qin Wenyi at lunchtime, and father and daughter went to a nearby restaurant to eat together, and he asked her if she had a conflict with Chu Zhengqing today. Not really a conflict, just a difference in philosophy. Father's eye are everywhere. Qin Yufei is not surprised at all. Qin Wenyi laughed. You still have a philosophy? In his opinion, his daughter is lazy and loves to play and has no desire for career. Of course there is. Qin Yufei raised her eyebrows and looked at her father. Don't worry, it's okay. I have a sense of propriety, giving him a lot of face. He is in a high position of power and authority here, and will not be pissed off by a small marketing PR manager. Qin Wenyi looked at his daughter and smiled. Qin Yufei also laughed. Dad, I really do not have feelings for him. The difference in philosophy is just a difference in philosophy, not playing games. I am planning to find someone to fall in love with. Dad, don't you still have several preferred candidates on the hand? Tell me. I'll pick one from them to date and get along to see. Sounds very insincere. Qin Wenyi shook his head. You are not young, it is time to seriously consider marriage matters. As they were talking, a cheerful laugh interjected. What big deal are father and daughter talking about? Qin Wenyi and Qin Yufei turned their heads to look. The company's vice president in charge of products Xu Wenjing and Xu Zhengqing standing aside. Xu Wenjing smiled at them. The two of them don't know how much they heard. Qin Wenyi laughed and said what a coincidence, then greeted them and invited them over to join them. Xu Zhengqing's face was a little subtle, politely answered and followed Xu Wenjing to sit down together. Xu Wenjing is an old minister of Yangkai, a few years older than Qin Wenyi, followed Qin Wenyi's business, and built a piece of the Yangkai business, and was also very familiar with Qin Yufei, so he was not polite at all, and laughed with Qin Yufei. The little girl has grown up, it's time to get married. Qin Yufei also laughed, holding Xu Wenjing and pretending to sigh. But good men have become old, either uncle or uncle. This flattering makes Xu Wenjing laugh. He seized the moment to help set up. Our Zhengqing is good Xu Wenjing is very appreciative of Xu Zhengqing. More than 3 years ago he also recommended this young man to Qin Wenyi. Let him poach Xu Zhengqing from the rival company. After his arrival, Xu Zhengqing really lived up to the expectations and achieved remarkable results. Xu Wenjing is loyal to Qin Wenyi. He knows that Qin Wenyi is worried about no one succeeding the family business. Let Xu Zhengqing and Qin Yufei try to get along is also his proposal to Qin Wenyi. Xu Zhengqing listened to Xu Wenjing's words and dropped his eyelids, did not speak. Qin Yufei didn't even look at him and laughed frankly. Oh, I just told my father that I don't have the same philosophy as Vice President Xu, so it's not a match. I'd rather find someone less serious who can eat, drink, and live a superficial life together. Xu Wenjing said, teasing your Uncle Xu again. But it's good that girls don't work so hard, but you have to find a reliable and competent one, so your parents can rest assured. Okay. Qin Yufei smiled mischievously, give Xu Wenjing pickled vegetables, ask him about his grandson's situation, and said to liven up the celebration party. Let her to do these things. She has chosen the gift. She also has several plans for the baby's activities. She wants to ask Xu Wenjing's daughter-in-law out to drink tea and play with the baby. A few words to take away the topic, and Xu Wenjing coaxed. After the meal, Xu Wenjing began to repeat the old tune that it is a pity that they do not have 2 sons. Otherwise they must grab Qin Yufei as a daughter-in-law. Qin Yufei pouted. Uncle Xu is not sincere, a son is enough, but I have not seen him. Now only after the grandson was born, you said regret? Coax me, Xu Wenjing laughed. Qin Wenyi knocked his daughter's head. Qin Yufei took advantage of the situation to pout. The 2 old men could not do anything about her. Xu Zhengqing looked at Qin Yufei several times and only quietly ate his food. A week after this matter, Qin Yufei started dating. The partner is Zhao Hongwei, Yangkai's raw material supplier Mingrui's rich boy, currently working in Mingrui. Because of the business relationship, he and Qin Yufei have known each other for a long time, but the action of pursuing her only started in these 2 months. That day Qin Yufei went to a manufacturer's event and met with Zhao Hongwei, who asked her out again, and this time Qin Yufei said yes, and the 2 of them had a romantic dinner together at a fancy restaurant over the weekend. On Monday, a large handful of bright red roses were delivered to Qin Yufei's office with a card on it, 99 roses, representing my heart. Qin Yufei looked at the flowers and sent him a text message back. Thank you, I like it very much. After the text message was sent, Zhao Hongwei's phone call came in immediately. It's good that you like it, then I'll have the courage to ask you to meet again tonight. Qin Yufei laughed. I'm not available tonight, Thursday is fine." Zhao Hongwei agreed in one breath. The two of them chatted for a few minutes and hung up the phone. Qin Yufei threw the phone to the side, and did not have a happy expression. She stared at the flowers for a while, suddenly pursed her lips and raised her eyebrows, with a careless look. A turn of the head, and saw Chu Zhengqing with a cup standing in front of her office looking at her. See her look over. He did not speak, holding the cup towards the pantry direction. Qin Yufei does not care. She asked her secretary to find a beautiful vase to put the flowers, placed on the coffee table in her office.